Shamia, the fact that you had to go and send a cease and desist to Angela says a lot about your character, and I'm so done. We're almost done with the season 17 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I have not been more annoyed with Shamia than I have ever been. Not only that, K. Michelle gets a peach for next season. I will be so fucking pissed. I don't know if this person was trying to get me upset or this is true, but word on the curb is that allegedly Rasheeda is trying to wiggle her way onto Bravo to get a spot as a peach holder in Real Housewives of Atlanta. And when I tell y'all, I was so pissed when I heard that. Not only are they saying that allegedly Rasheeda is trying to get on the show, but they're also looking at Toya. You know, Toya is Lil Wayne's ex-wife. And let me tell y'all, I'm gonna get into that. I don't know if it's true. This is all alleged. But that, when I tell y'all, that shit had pissed me off so much. Before I get into this episode, which was a really good episode, I want to say this. If you're new to my page, my name is Rima. This is That's a Rima TV, and I do weekly Real Housewives. Let me tell you, I'm an avid Real Housewives of Atlanta watcher. I love it, love it, love it so much. And on this page, I don't hold back. I say whatever the hell I want to say. And if you are someone who loves to give your unpopular opinion and unsolicited opinion as well, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, hit the bell notification so that anytime I get on here, you know. Now I'm gonna hold y'all to it. Throughout this video, I'm gonna be giving y'all a quiz, and I'm telling y'all, y'all will not be disappointed. Y'all gonna be so glad y'all clicked on this video. All right, y'all, so we get started with Porsha and her mom. And one thing I can say is that throughout Porsha's time on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you have really seen how important her relationship is with her mom. They're practically like best friends. And one thing I love and respect about Porsha is no matter who she's with, it's like they know by default that if they take care of Porsha, they're gonna have to do stuff for her mom. Like, Porsha loves her mom. Her mom is an essential part of her life. So I like anything when y'all see Porsha on vacations and someone is taking her on vacation, trust me, they're paying for mama too. Mama gets whatever she wants, and that's one thing I love and respect about the relationship. As someone that comes from a very toxic, you know, relationship with my mother, I always like let me be transparent. I always like not envy in the sense of like I would do anything to take that from you, but more in a sense of like loss and mourning, because I don't come from a very like close-knit family, and me and my mother are practically damn near estranged. And you know, to see Porsha and her mom on screen, like Porsha's, you know, it was, let me tell y'all, if you have ever been raised, let me know in the comments, if you've ever been raised by a mom where it's almost like your mom treats you as competition. Like, she doesn't look at you like her daughter, her creation. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, to sit in front of your mother and talk about things pertaining to like your relationship, your personal life, your body, sex. Like, Porsha, even though she's grown, but her being able to freely talk like that, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I almost like, it's like not envy, I don't want to use the word envy, but it's like I'm like, wow, that's such a blessing. Porsha's been through several divorces, you know, the birth of her first child, so many heartbreaks, and her mom has always been there. So I love the fact that, you know, they're such close-knit. And let me tell you, Miss Diane looks fucking good. I don't even know how old Miss Diane is, but Miss Diane looks amazing. Out of the whole episode, the only two things that really stood out was obviously Porsha's relationship with her mom and how she was, you know, venting about, you know, her and Dennis. But what do y'all think about Kelli and this financial crisis that she's in? I feel like Kelli is so, like, the way she acts sometimes is so juvenile, like so teenage, so childish. It's not like, I think something is like, for example, y'all seen when she went to the basketball charity event, or the event that Angela threw. She came there with red bottom heels on. It's just like, girl, who are you trying to impress? When I say that Kelli is like childish, you know what it really reminds me of, and I'm just gonna be real honest here. it reminds me about when a woman is so used to being like provided for and taken care of, that almost like when she starts to become independent again, whether through choice or by force, it's almost like a kid learning things all over again. So Kelli sits down with her financial advisor and they break down like what her monthly expenses are. And Kelli spends a lot of money. When she was touring that house with her real estate agent, I was like, okay, Kelli budget is $4,000 like a month. There's regular everyday working 9-to-5 people who could pay $4,000 in rent or $4,000 in a mortgage. So for Kelli's budget to be that low was crazy. $2,000 a month for a Range Rover. You know, she has a lot going on. But you know, I'm gonna cut Kelli some slack, and the reason I'm gonna cut her some slack is that I can 100% relate to Kelli. I know how it feels to have a man provide for you and do so much for you, and for such a long time you didn't have to worry about like, you know, bills and what's due, how much is, you didn't have to worry about that. You just spent money, you took care of the kids, and you do that. And learning how to be better, that takes a lot. I'm going through that right now, where I was in a relationship with someone who provided for me 1,000%. And I will always say, like, I could never take it away from this person that they were essential in upgrading my life. I would never take that from them. That, you know, it was a blessing to be able to not have to pay no bills, no rent. What is that? Like, I could really like spend money on myself. And growing up in a household where my mother was always stressed about money, money was so tight, and it was like a bad thing to spend money on yourself. Like today, as a 30-year-old woman, I am actively in therapy working on how my relationship with money and my finances are. Finances runs really deep, especially when you grow up in a household where, you know, money is scarce. So if I'm in a relationship with this man that's taking care of me, I feel like I can relax. My nervous system is reset. I'm able to do and buy all the things I wish I could get as a kid. I'm doing those things. Like I'm treating myself. I'm really experiencing life, and it feels good. But that stuff, I mean, things happen and it doesn't last forever. And sometimes you can be with a man, and we're gonna do a deep dive into Kelli's husband, trust and believe. But sometimes you can be with a man and he might be providing for you and doing all the things, but mentally it's not easy being with a person like that. Mentally, he can become insufferable. He could be mean to you. He could not appreciate you. He could just like, the relationship just serves no purpose anymore, and it's almost tumultuous. And you have to decide, like, okay, well, I want better for myself. And then you go from not having to pay bills and do all this stuff, but you got to deal with a nigga that's getting on your damn nerves and really affecting your mental health. But now it's like, now I gotta budget and I gotta calculate, and I gotta maybe cut back on some stuff, or maybe I could spend a little here and there. You know, now I'm looking at, oh, well, lights. I ain't never paid the electric bill, but lights is this amount of money? Okay, we're gonna turn some of this shit off. So I get where Kelli is coming from. I can relate 100%. Let me tell you, it's not easy. It is not easy. The amount of times I have gotten off of work and just sat in my car and cried. And cried because I was just so stressed. Like, wow, like, yeah, the flip side is that I'm gaining my independence. I'm becoming a woman that takes care of herself, so she can choose a partner based upon their qualities, not solely because, oh, they have money, they can provide for you. And, you know, as a woman who solely went after men like that, yeah, the benefit was great, but also sometimes you pay big time with your peace of mind and your mental health. I kid you not. So yeah, sometimes I will be in my car crying. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm tired of paying rent. I'm tired of paying my bills by myself. I'm tired. And I know that deep inside, I could just be like, okay, well, I'm ready to get my bills paid on this, but it's just like, at what cost? I'm happy in what I got going on. So I I empathize with Kelli. I show Kelli some grace. It is not easy when you are like a frivolous spender. And word on the curb is that Kelli ex-husband said that she spent crazily. And even in my past relationship with the provider I was with, I spent crazy because I was like, oh, I get to do this, I can do that. And even though I've always still worked, it was just like, what is a budget? So, and it's still something I'm learning and I'm working on to this day, is become independent. So I'm rooting for Kelli. I want the best for Kelli. I want her to get out of this situation because she most definitely can. She can come out on top. If it's not motivation for her, it's motivation for her girls, and it's other women going through that. So even me. Because at the end of the day, rebuilding your finances after a relationship is very humbling. That shit is humbling. Like, it makes you open up them banking apps that you don't want to open up. Like, for the longest, like, I didn't feel like, oh my god, I don't want to open my I was used to using cards and they never decline. Being able to save so much money, being on vacations and be like, oh, I'm in a foreign country, I'm just gonna pull out $3K just because. Like, I just remember those days, saving my first $1,000. I was a grown adult. It's crazy. Like, rebuilding your finances after a relationship, after marriage, after anything will humble you. It will make you start doing math when you really see the math ain't mathing. It's not, but it's necessary, and it's a part of character development. And I know that Kelli will come out on top. I do want Kelli to get a peach for the next season. I really, really do. I want to see her come out on top of this. And you know what? I'm curious. Right now, comment if you are like in your season. And you know what? I'm curious. I want you to comment right now. Let's motivate each other, because like this world, I feel like this world is so much. Sometimes it can be so much sometimes. And like finance is just like so much. It just mounts on you, and it's like, oh my god. It's like you go to work, you come home, you sleep, go to work, like you do it all over again, and it really can drive you insane. But I want to know, anyone has a testimony, or if they're in Kelli's shoes, or you know, even in my shoes, learning how to rebuild after a relationship and rebuilding with your finances and doing the tough, like if you've been in that situation, comment about it. Let's talk about it. Show us, let's motivate each other to see that we can make it through. Because I'm telling you, sometimes I be like, god damn. You know what I could do with this rent money? Sometimes I want to be fiscally irresponsible, and sometimes I do. I'm like, look, these bills gonna always be coming. I ain't got time. But at the end of the day, it's like the best thing I could learn from myself is the fact that I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna be independent, because at the end of the day, there is no better feeling than having fuck you money. There is no better feeling to be able to say, this relationship is no longer serving me. I'm leaving. I already got everything established. There's no better feeling to be able to be comfortable after a relationship has ended. It's no better feeling. It get rough sometimes, but the best feeling is that it get done. And if you could relate to me, also hit that like button so that YouTube knows that I'm making good content. Y'all are loving my content, and it gets pushed forward to other people who also want to see my content. All right, this was a nice little wholesome episode, but this is all I got. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Also, did y'all see the Real Housewives of Atlanta seating chart? The season is almost over, but let me tell you, Andy better not put K. Michelle back on this motherfucking show. This is it for her. This is her first reunion, and this better be her last. I cannot see K. Michelle on the screen. I would be like one of those people that be like, oh, Rima from Atlanta says, Andy, you need to get K. Michelle off the show. Why would you even waste her time when another valuable peach could be in her spot? K. Michelle is giving nurse. She's out again. K Michelle probably try to read my ass down, but no, for real, I don't want to see her. Who do y'all want to see on the next season? Comment below, y'all. We almost there. I will be doing a recap of the reunion. Trust and believe. Let me tell y'all that those videos gonna be on time, because this reunion is gonna be good and explosive. And the fact that Shamia allegedly, I'm not sure if she went ahead with it. She was talking to Angela Yee on a platform, and she said that she was, you know, she's forced to send Angela cease and desist. She may have already sent it, but that shit was lame as fuck if you really did that. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Bye.